Hi students, good evening everyone. So students, today we will study the next chapter of science, that is animals and their young ones. Okay, open your book to page number 95. This is chapter number 9, animals and their young ones. Alright. So students, in this chapter, first we will study about the process of reproduction. Animals and their young ones means how animals give birth to their babies. Young ones means the small babies, the babies of the animals, that is called as animals and their young ones. Young ones means the babies of the animals, okay? And how these animals are born. Okay, how are these animals reproduced? How are these animals born? We will study about the process of reproduction. What do you mean by reproduction? Okay, and then we will study about the egg laying animals. Okay, different animals reproduce by different methods. Okay, and we will study about the egg laying animals, then the life cycle of egg laying animals. Okay, how do babies grow from a small baby to an adult? Okay, that is called as the life cycle of egg laying animals. Then we will study about the animals that give birth to the young ones, that is born by giving birth. Okay, then how do animals look after their young ones? Looking after their young ones means taking care of their babies. How animals take care of their babies. Okay, so these are the contents of your chapter, that is animals and their young ones. First, let us start with reproduction. First, you have to understand the process of reproduction, how babies are born. Alright. So students, let us begin with reproduction. The spelling of reproduction, it is R-E-P-R-O-D-U-C-T-I-O-N, reproduction. Reproduction is the process by which babies are born. Okay, it is written in the slide. Animals produce more of their own kind either by laying eggs or giving birth to young ones. This is called reproduction. Reproduction means the animals that give birth to their babies of their own kind. Okay, for example, a dog will give birth to a puppy, a cat gives birth to a kitten. Yes or no? A cow gives birth to a calf. Okay, then a human beings, they give birth to a child or a baby. That means animals that they give birth to the young ones of their own kind. Of their own kind. That means a dog cannot give birth to a kitten. Okay, or a kitten cannot give birth to a puppy. That is said to be as of their own kind. That means of their own type or same type of animals that they give birth. That is called as reproduction. Reproduction is the process in which animals produce more of its own kind, either by laying eggs or by giving birth. There are two methods of reproduction by which an animal can reproduce their babies, either by laying eggs or by giving birth. Okay, babies can be born by laying eggs or by giving birth. So there are two methods of reproduction. Number one is by laying eggs or by giving birth. It is written in your book. In page number 95, you can see the ability to produce more of its own kind is called reproduction. Animals reproduce in two methods, that is by laying eggs and by giving birth. Okay. So now let us study about egg laying animal. Okay. Students, there are many animals that lay egg to reproduce their own kind. Okay, to reproduce the young ones of their own kind. There are many type of animals that lay eggs to reproduce the young ones of their own kind. Okay, see, it is written many animals reproduce by laying eggs. Okay, the eggs are kept in warm place, or the parent animal sit on the egg to keep the eggs warm. Once the egg get mature, the young ones come out. Then the habit of some animals to sit on their eggs to keep the egg warm is called incubation. Animals that lay eggs include birds, frog, fish, turtle, lizard, crocodile, snake, cockroach, butterfly, bee, mosquitoes and grasshopper. Students, these animals like bird, frog, fish, then lizard, turtle, crocodile, mosquitoes, grasshopper, cockroach, butterflies, all these animals and insects, they do not give birth, they lay egg so that they can reproduce the young ones of their own kind. To reproduce the young ones of their own kind, these animals such as bird, frog, fishes, lizard, etc., they do not give birth but they lay egg. These animals, what do? They lay egg so as they can reproduce their young ones of their own kind. And students, how are the young ones, how these young ones are reproduced by laying eggs? Once the parent animal, the one which will lay egg, okay, an adult animal, the one who lays egg, once they lay egg, the eggs are kept in the warm places such as if birds are laying egg, they keep the egg on the nest. Okay, and they sit on the egg so that the egg can be incubated, so that the egg can get the warmth of the parent. They sit on the egg. Okay, that is called as incubation. That method where the parent animals sit on the egg to make it warm so that the baby can be formed inside the egg, so that the baby can be born inside the egg. They keep the eggs on the warm place or they sit on the egg to make it warm, and that process is called as incubation. Okay, the parent animal, they incubate the egg. Incubation means it is the habit of the animals to sit on their eggs so that the eggs can be kept warm. Okay, and if the eggs are warm, the baby inside the eggs can be formed. Okay, and once the baby it is formed inside the egg, they hatch out from the eggs. Hatch out means the eggs breaks down and the baby from the eggs it comes out. For example, chicken, bird. Yes or no? Chicken, when they lay egg, they sit on the eggs for many days. They give the warmth of their body to the egg so that the eggs can be incubated and the baby can be formed inside the egg. Once the baby is fully matured or fully grown inside the egg, they hatch out of the egg and they come out. This is how the reproduction takes place in the animals that lays egg. It is written in the slide. See, the eggs are kept in warm places like the nest that they built to lay egg, okay, or the parent animal sit on the egg to keep the egg warm. As I told you, when a hen lays egg, they sit on the nest for a long period of time so that the eggs get the warmth of the parent, of the body from the parent animal. Okay, and then once the egg get matured, once the baby inside the egg it gets matured, the eggs hatches. Hatches means the eggs break down and the young ones come out. The young ones that is formed inside the egg, they come out. Okay, and the habit of some animals to sit on their eggs to keep the egg warm, it is called as incubation. Now if you are asked that What is incubation? You will say that it is the process of the animals in which they sit on the eggs to keep the eggs warm so that they can be so that the baby inside the eggs can be formed and they can be grown. They can be grown matured. Okay. Then animals that lays eggs, they include what? What type of animals do lays eggs? Like birds, fishes, then turtle, lizard, crocodile, snake, cockroach, butterfly, bee, mosquitoes and grasshopper. These are some examples of the animals that lay egg. Okay? I hope you understood this. And apart from these, birds also reproduce their young ones by laying egg. And where do these birds lay egg? They lay eggs in the nest. The birds, they lay egg into the nest. Okay. And now students, we will study about the different parts of an egg. What are the different parts of an egg? Okay. Egg laying animals, they lay egg. And inside those eggs, how the baby are formed? What are the different parts or the different layer of the egg? Okay, we will study about that. So now students, let us study about the part of an egg. What are the different part of the egg where the newborn baby can be grown inside the egg? How a baby is formed inside the egg? Okay. See, there are different parts of an egg. Alright, there are different parts of an egg. An egg has a thin protective shell called as eggshell. Okay, the outer part of an egg is hard, yes or no? The outer part of an egg, it is little bit hard. Okay, and inside that shell there is a thin protective layer. There is a thin protective layer that is called as eggshell. Okay, the thin protective layer that covers the inside of the egg, that is called as eggshell. Shell is something that is the outer covering or something that protects inside. Okay, something that protects the inner part of a body or of a substance, that is called as shell. Okay, and this egg, it has a thin protective layer which is called as eggshell. Okay, see students, look into your books. I will read out. An egg has a thin protective shell called the eggshell. Okay, within the eggshell there is a white jelly-like substance that is called as albumen. Inside the egg, the watery substance which you will find inside the egg, that is called as albumen. A-L-B-U-M-E-N. Albumen. It is the white jelly liquid type of structure that you will find inside the egg, that is called as albumen. And that albumen is very rich in proteins. It contains protein. Okay, it contains protein. The albumen of the egg contains protein. Okay, and it is a jelly like substance that is present inside the egg. Okay, then the yellow inner part of the egg, the yellow inner part of the egg, it is called as yolk. Y-O-L-K. You can see in the picture the yellow part. That yellow part, it is called as yolk. Y-O-L-K. And the outer protective layer, that is called as eggshell. And the liquid like substance that is present inside the eggshell, that is called as albumen, which is very rich in protein. Okay, the yellow part of the egg, it is called as yolk, and this yolk is rich in fats, minerals and vitamins. The yellow part of the egg, which is called as yolk, it is very rich in fats, vitamins and minerals. Okay, and in this yolk the embryo is formed. And what is embryo? Embryo is the very starting stage of a newborn baby. Okay, it is the very starting stage of a baby. From an embryo, a baby is formed. And this embryo is formed inside this yolk. Where is this embryo formed? The yolk contains, this embryo is formed in this yolk. This yolk contains the food for the growth of the embryo. Okay? The embryo, this embryo that is present in this yolk provides the embryo all the essential nutrients that the embryo needs to grow into a baby. Okay, for example, see, when a chicken lays egg, when it sit on the eggs and incubate it, the albumin and the yolk, it provides all the essential nutrients, vitamins and minerals that is needed by the embryo to grow. Okay, inside this egg the embryo is formed. Alright, and then this embryo, when it grows into a baby, when this embryo grows into a matured baby, the egg it hatches, the egg it breaks down, and that baby comes out, and later on when fed by the parent animal, this baby chick or the baby animal which is born, it grows into an adult. Okay, then this embryo develops into a chick. It is written in the slide. First, the part of an egg, what does it contain? What are the different parts of the egg? It has a protective shell, protective outer layer, that is called as eggshell, which protects the inner part of the egg. Okay, the liquid substance or the white jelly-like substance that is present inside the egg, it is called as albumin, which is rich in protein. And there is a yolk where the embryo is formed, and this yolk contains vitamins, minerals and fats, which provides all the essential nutrients for the embryo to grow into a baby. And when the baby is grown fully matured inside the egg hatches out, the egg hatches and the baby chick, it comes out from the egg. Okay, and this embryo, it develops into a chick. The embryo inside the egg, it develops into the chick. When the chick is developed, it hatches out from the egg and comes out, and when they are fed by their parent animal or the parent chicken, then it grows into a fully matured adult chicken. Okay, so these are the different part of the egg. I repeat, the part of the egg is, it has a thin protective shell which is called as eggshell, and inside the egg there is a white jelly-like substance which is called as albumin, and there is a yolk inside the egg where the embryo is formed, which is rich in fats, vitamins and minerals, through which the embryo to grow into an adult, it provides all the essential nutrients that is needed by the embryo to grow. It contains the food for the embryo to grow. Okay? And now students, let us study about the life cycle. Okay? Now what do you mean by life cycle? It is the process of the development from young one to an adult. Okay, it is the process of the development and the growth of a baby. The process of development and growth of a body from a child to an adult, it is called as life cycle. Okay, the process between that occurs from a child, from a baby to a child, from a child to a boy or a girl, and from a girl to an adult. The process between that, it is called as the life cycle. There are various stages of development and growth of an animal, yes or no? So that stages between the birth and to grow as a fully matured adult, the stages between the birth and to the growth of an adult, that is called as the life cycle. Okay, there is a life cycle. Understood? See, various stages of development from an embryo to a mature adult is called the life cycle of an animal. It is written in your book also, page number 96. Various stages of development from an embryo to a mature adult is called the life cycle of an animal. From an embryo, how do we grow into a baby, and from a baby, how do we grow into a child, from a child to a boy or a girl, and from a boy or a girl to a matured adult. Those stages, those different stages is called as the life cycle of an animal. In the picture you can see, there is a life cycle of mosquito and there is a life cycle of a chicken. In your book also you have two examples of the life cycle of hen and there is a life cycle of a frog. Okay, two examples you have, life cycle of hen and life cycle of frog. In the picture you can see how is a mosquito grown from an embryo to an adult. Okay, mosquito doesn't have embryo. They do have embryo, but what is the life cycle of a mosquito? See, first the adult mosquito, they lay egg. Okay, and when they lay egg, after that what it is formed? Those eggs, it hatches to form larva. Okay, those eggs, the mosquitoes that they lay egg, when the egg hatches, the larva comes out. It is there in your picture, you can see. From eggs, the larva grows, and from larva, it grows into the pupa. Okay, when the eggs of a mosquito hatch, first the larva comes out, and when the larva, it feeds on food, it grows into the pupa, and again from pupa it grows into an adult mosquito, and again that adult mosquito will lay egg. From that egg, the egg will hatch to produce larva, and then that larva will grow to form a pupa, and from that pupa, that will grow into an adult mosquito. Okay, and in the same way hen. Okay, a mother hen. The mother hen, it lay eggs. Yes or no? The mother hen, it lay eggs. When they lay egg, they sit on the egg for a period of time so that the embryo inside the egg can get the warmth and they can grow quickly or in a short period of time. Okay, once the embryo, it is grown into the baby or a chick inside the egg, it hatches out. When the chick, it grows and it breaks the shell of the egg, that is called as hatching. That is called as hatching. When the egg, it breaks off to produce the chick out of the egg, that process is called as hatching. Okay, and once the chick, it comes out, when they are fed by proper food or when they are fed by the parent animal, they grow to form into an adult chicken. Okay, this is the life cycle of the chicken. The mother chicken, she lays eggs. Okay, and then she sit on the eggs for a period of time so that she can incubate the egg. Incubate means to sitting on the egg to give warmth to the egg so that the embryo that is formed inside the egg, they get the warmth and they can grow well. And once those embryo is grown into a chick, that chick, it breaks down the egg, which is called as hatching. The breaking of the egg, it is called as hatching. Okay, and once the egg is hatched, the chick, it comes out of the egg, and then when she is fed properly, it grows into a fully matured chicken. Okay, so this is the life cycle of a chicken. Okay, so now students, let us study about the life cycle of frog. Okay, how do these frogs lay eggs and how the baby are formed inside the egg. Okay, the baby frog, the babies of the frog is called as tadpole. T-A-D-E-P-O-L-E, tadpole. The, sorry, not T-A-D-E, it is T-A-D-P-O-L-E. The baby of frog, it is called as tadpole. Okay. Frog, they lay egg inside the water in a cluster. In a cluster means they do not lay one or two egg. They lay egg in a large quantity. Not only one or two. Many eggs they lay at a particular time. A frog lay many eggs at a particular time, and that is called as cluster. The large cluster of egg that is laid by the frog, it is called as spawns. S-P-A-W-N-S, spawns. Okay. What is the cluster of egg laid by a frog called? That is called as spawns. S-P-A-W-N-S, spawns. Okay. Then from that spawn, a tadpole hatches out. Okay, from that spawn, the baby frog, that is called as tadpole, which looks completely different from the frog. It is very tiny, black in color with a tail. It looks like a small fish when it swims in the water. It seems to be like a small fish when it swims in the water. It has a tail. In your book, you can see the picture of the tadpole. Can you see? From the cluster of egg that is called as spawn, a tadpole, it hatches out. Okay. And this tadpole, it undergoes several changes, such as it grows legs and it loses its tails before it becomes an adult. Okay. Before becoming an adult, this tadpole, it undergoes several changes. Like when it grows, it loses its tails. Okay, the legs are grown. Frog has got legs, yes or no? They has got two pair of legs, yes or no? And when they are tadpole, when the frog is in its baby stage, it does not have legs. It only has got its tail. Okay, it has got a tail. It has got a tail. But when it grows, the tail, it cuts off. The legs are formed. Okay, and this change, the change from a tadpole to a frog, the change that occurs in between the growing stage from a tadpole to a frog, that change, it is called as metamorphosis. What is metamorphosis? It is a complete change from a young form to an adult form. What is metamorphosis? Metamorphosis is the process in which change takes place from a young form to an adult form. That is the change between the young form to an adult form. That process, it is called as metamorphosis. Okay. So this is the life cycle of a frog. First, they lay egg into cluster inside the water, which is called as spawns. And from that spawn, the tadpole hatches out. Tadpole does not look exactly like a frog, as they do not have, when they are a tadpole, they do not have any legs. Okay. And when they grow adult, they undergo different changes, such as they loses off its tail, then the legs are formed. Okay. And this change between the young stage to the adult stage, this change, it is called as metamorphosis. A complete change from a young form to adult is called metamorphosis. Okay, if you are asked what is metamorphosis, then you will say it is a complete change from a young form to adult. It is called as metamorphosis. Okay, I hope you understood the life cycle of frog. Now, let us move to the next topic, that is the life cycle of a butterfly. We will study about the life cycle of the butterfly. Alright. So now students, let us study about the life cycle of butterfly. Now, how do this butterfly lay egg and how the young ones are grown into a mature butterfly. Okay. See, butterfly also shows metamorphosis. Metamorphosis, why do they show metamorphosis? Because the larva or the small young one that is grown, that hatches out from the egg, it is completely different from the adult butterfly. It looks completely different from the adult butterfly. That is why it is said to be that this butterfly also shows metamorphosis, because there is a vast change from the caterpillar to the growing stage of an adult butterfly. Okay, see, an adult butterfly, it lays eggs. These butterfly, they lay eggs on the leaves of the plant. Okay, these butterfly, they lays eggs on the leaf of the plant. You can see in your book, students, in page number 98, there is a diagram of the life cycle of a butterfly. Okay, first of all, the adult butterfly, it will lay egg on the leaves of different plants. Usually they lay egg on the mulberry leaves, okay, so that the caterpillar can eat the leaves for its nutrition. Okay, once the egg hatches, the larva comes out. Those eggs, it hatches to form larva. Okay, what does it form? It forms larva, which is called as caterpillar. The egg hatches into larva, which is also called as caterpillar. C-A-T-E-R-P-I-L-L-A-R, caterpillar. Okay, then this caterpillar, it builds a cocoon around itself to form a pupa. Okay, this caterpillar, it weaves some kind of, you can say, it covers itself into a shell. Okay, and that cocoon is weaved by the saliva of this pupa, of this caterpillar. The cocoon is formed by the saliva of this caterpillar. They cover themselves into a cocoon so that they can form into the pupa. Then this caterpillar, it grows and it forms into the pupa. Okay, once the pupa is formed, it shed off its skin. Once the pupa is formed, it sheds off its skin, and this shedding of the skin, it is called as molting, M-O-U-L-T-I-N-G. The process in which the pupa shed its skin to grow into an adult butterfly, that process is called as molting, M-O-U-L-T-I-N-G. Okay, and then this pupa, it becomes an adult butterfly. This pupa, it changes to an adult butterfly. First of all, what does this butterfly do? They lay egg in the leaves of the plant. Okay, and then when the egg it hatches into the larva, which is also called as caterpillar. Okay, then this caterpillar, it eats the leaves so that they can grow, and once they grow, they cover themselves into the cocoon. They build a shield themselves, and they get covered inside that cocoon. And once they get covered inside the cocoon, they grow into the pupa inside that cocoon. And when the pupa is fully grown or fully matured, they shed off the skin. They shed off their skin, and that process of shedding of the skin, it is called as molting. And when the pupa is grown, when it grows into the matured or fully adult butterfly. Okay, so this is the life cycle of butterfly. And now students, let us study about the animals that give birth. Till now we studied about the animals that lay eggs. What were the animals that lay eggs? Those were like hen, yes or no, frog, fishes, butterfly, cockroach. These are the animals that lay eggs. Okay, now we will study about the animals that give birth. What animals give birth? What are the animals that give birth? The mammals. Okay, Mammals reproduce by giving birth to their young ones that feed on mother's milk. Mammals are animals that give birth to the young ones. And how do they feed their young ones? By giving their own milk, by giving them the mother's milk. Okay, mammals are animals which reproduce by giving birth, and they feed the babies on their mother's milk. The babies are fed by the mother's milk. Okay, see, there are different features of the mammals. Okay, there are different features of the mammals. Mammals, they give birth to the young ones. They do not lay eggs. Okay, mammals never lay eggs. They give birth to the young ones. Then they have hair or fur on their skin. The skin of the mammals are covered with hair or fur. Okay, mammals have 4 legs and ears that stick out even if they live on the land. They have what? They have 4 legs and they have ears that stick out. This ears, it comes out. Okay, that is called as stick out. Then they have lungs to breathe. Mammals breathe through their lungs. Okay, and they take the oxygen from the air. Then they nurse their young one with milk. Nurse means they feed. Mammals feed their young ones with the mother's milk. Mammals feed their young ones with the mother's milk, and these mammals are warm-blooded. The mammals are warm-blooded animals. They are not cold-blooded. As they live on the land, that is why they are called as warm-blooded animals. These are the characteristics of mammals. If you are asked, write some characteristics of mammals, what will you write? The first point is that they give birth to their young ones. Okay, they do not lay egg. Then the second one is they have hair or fur on their skin. Okay, then they have got 4 legs and ears that stick out. Then they breathe with their lungs. They take in oxygen and they exhale carbon dioxide. Okay, then they nurse their young ones with the mother's milk. That means they feed their young ones with the mother's milk. Okay, and mammals are warm-blooded animals as they live on the land. Mammals are warm-blooded animals. Many mammals are there that live on the water also, but these mammals are said to be as warm-blooded animals. And students, there are some mammals which do not give birth. There are some mammals which lay eggs also. For example, duck-billed, platypus and spiny anteater. This is the example of mammals that lay eggs. Okay, these are the examples of some animals that lay eggs: duck-billed platypus and spiny anteater. Okay, and the example of mammals that give birth are we human beings. We are also mammal. Lion, tiger, cow, goat, okay, giraffe, hippopotamus, rabbit, dolphins. Whales and dolphins are also mammals. They are not fishes. Whales and dolphins are mammals that are found in water, but they do not have hair on their body. Okay, whales and dolphins are mammals that give birth to their young ones by, they do not give birth to their young ones by laying eggs. Instead, they give birth. Okay, and they are the mammals which do not have hair on their body. Understood? And these are 2 mammals that live in the water, whales and dolphin. Okay, and these mammals that live on the land, they breathe with the help of their lungs. They take in oxygen. Understood? Then The whales and dolphins, they have got blowholes that is present on the top of the head, which helps them to breathe. And that is why these dolphins and whales, they come to the surface of the water to breathe. Understood? It is written in your book. See, most mammals live on land and breathe through lungs. And whale and dolphin also breathe through lungs. They take in air through blowholes that is present on the top of their head. Hence, they have to come out to the surface of the water frequently to breathe air. Since these whales and dolphins, they have got blowholes in their head and they breathe through their lungs. Fishes usually breathe through gills and they do not need to come out of the water. But these whales and dolphins, they are mammals and they breathe through lungs and they have blowholes that is present on their head. That is why they need to come to the surface of the water most frequently so that they can breathe in the air. Understood? So mammals are animals that they give birth to their young ones. Okay? And now our next topic, that is animal look after their young ones. Okay? As animal, they give birth to their baby, they also take care of their babies. They look after their babies. Yes or no? As our parents, they give us birth, they look after us. Yes or no? What do we eat? What do we wear? Yes, where do we go? They look after our every need. Yes or no? In the same way, animals also look after their young ones. Okay? Most of the animals build house to protect their children from the enemies. Okay? From the weather, from the climate, they build house for their babies. Different animals live in the different types of houses. Tigers and lions, they live in den. Horses live in stables. Cows, they live in shed. Yes or no? Birds, they build nest for their babies so that their babies can be kept, can live there safely. They protect their babies from the enemies. Yes or no? The mother feeds her babies her own milk, cleans them and keep them warm. The mother, they feed the baby with their own milk and it keeps them warm. Have you seen a cow feeding a calf? A calf, it feeds on the milk of the cow. Yes or no? What is the baby of a cow called? It is called as calf. And calf, it feeds. When it is young, it feeds on its mother milk only. Yes or no? And when it grows up, then it goes to the field to graze the field and they eat grasses. Yes? So this is how animals look after their young ones. Okay? They feed them, they take care of them, they clean them, they build house for them so that the enemies do not harm the baby of the animals. Okay? So this is all about this chapter. In the next class, we will continue with the next chapter. Okay?